Welcome back to the RUFFLES YouTube channel. Today guys, we are going to learn how to make this beautiful DIY rose that we have here. You can use this to just beautify your outfit, or you can just use it for anything you want. It's a very beautiful tutorial and it's beginner friendly. This is something you like to learn. Kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. This is a simple DIY that you can use to accessorize your outfit. I'm using a satin fabric and I'm just going to use a small demo. You can adjust the measurements as you want when you're working on an actual design. So we are going to cut out the base first, which is a flare. So a 360-degree flare. To do this, I'm going to put my fabric on fold into 2. Then I'm going to fold again into 4 to cut out a circle. So after folding like this, I'll go ahead and mark out my desired measurement. I'm going to use around 2.5 to 3 inches for this. So you're going to mark it round, just like you would do for a regular flare. So after marking it round, we're going to connect it together, and then we're going to cut out our flare. So you should cut 2 of these so that you can use them to turn out each other. For this tutorial, I'm cutting out just 1, okay, because I'm just going to show you. It's not an actual work. So after cutting out this base, now this is where we're going to be forming the rose. You need to note the midpoint, the center point of the base. You can see how I folded it so that I can note where that is. So after noting it, I'm going to open it up again. I can clearly see where I marked, which is here. So from there, we're going to form like a spiral effect. Okay, so you can see. So from that center, I'm just making like a spiral effect around it, like this. So you're going to do this till you have filled the entire space that you have for the circle. So I'll keep making the spiral effect just like this. So after marking it all around, this is what you're going to have. You can see. So to cut out the actual fabric you're working with, you can measure around this space to have an idea of the distance that you need to cover up. Okay, you can measure it round and multiply that by 1.5 or 2 inches. Then that will give you an idea of the fabric you're going to cut out. I'm going to cut out my fabric. The width of this fabric is just 2 inches on fold. You can see it's just 2 inches on fold. You can do 1.5, you can do 3 inches depending on how wide you want it to be. And then the length will be whatever it is that you measured here, and then you add extra to it because we are going to be gathering this. We are gathering, is not splitting. Please take note of that. So after that, now I'm using my needle and thread for gathering. I've already passed my thread through the eye of the needle. So I'll put it on fold like this, and then I'll start doing a running stitch at the open side here. So you can see. So you keep doing the stitch till you get to the other end point like this. When you do a little bit, you can bring out your thread and then you continue. You can also use a machine for this if you want, but I just feel this makes the work easier for me. So I'm almost at the end now, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, so when you are done, you just gather everything together. Make sure that they are as uniform as possible. Okay, this gathering, just make the work easier for you. And to make your work easier, you just sew. You don't need to gather any longer when you're sewing. So before you go ahead to gather this, you can serge this rough edges so that it can be neat. Okay, you serge it so that you have something neat. Again, you will need more fabric than this, but the length of this is about 50 or 40 inches thereabouts. So I'm just using this for the tutorial. I may even need to reduce this flare if my gathers will not be enough to carry it. So now, after doing this, the next thing is to bring it to the base. So this spiral design that you created, you just follow it and start sewing on it. So you can see how I'm placing it. I'll take it to the sewing machine and then I'll start sewing it, following the circle, the spiral that I created with my chalk. So you sew all around like that till you get to the end point. Sew it, you can see, because you have already gathered it, I'm just sewing. So you lay it on the mark that we already have there, and then you sew on it gently. So that is how you keep sewing it till you get to the end point. I'm trying to stretch out the gathers a little bit so that it can cover the space for me. Like I said, I'm using a very small fabric for tutorial purpose. So if you are doing yours, please measure and use the appropriate fabric that you're supposed to use. You can even multiply it by 3 if you want it to be very full. So you just gather like this till you get to the end point. You can see that I'm almost at the end point now, which is my starting point. So make sure you weave all these rough edges so that all this frilling that I have here, you're not going to have it and it's not going to disturb what you are doing. So I'm just trying to open it up so that I can see the last point. I'm going to bring it out now so that I can show you to have an idea of how to close it up. So now this is what it looks like. You can see that we're almost at the end point. So I'll keep sewing like this, and when I get to this point, the last one here, I'm going to gather it and hide it inside like this, so you can see, so that I'll have something neat, and then I'm going to run a stitch to hold it down just like this. So this is what you will have. So I made this inside fuller than what you have here because I don't have enough fabric. So if you have enough fabric, make sure that you make everything as full as possible. So now I'll sew this and bring it back to show you. Okay, so I'm done sewing it now. I can see what it looks like. See, this is just a small rose. I still reduced the base to around 2 inches so that my fabric will cover it, and you can see our seam line. So if you want it to be really full and close together, you make sure that the spiral line are very close to each other so that the sewing that you did on this part will not show and the next one will cover it. So this is what it looks like. You're just going to sew it. When you want to sew it to your outfit, you can just open it up and follow the seam line that you already created on this side so that you're not going to have any extra seam for this. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.